Hi, it's Kassy. Thanks so much for visiting my YouTube channel today. I've got a really fun project using the Crafters Workshop stencil and a couple of mediums. So the first, we're using light and fluffy modeling paste over this really awesome stencil, and I'm going to cover this whole wood board with this modeling paste. I really want the whole scene in here. The inspiration for this project really came from this stencil. I really like the scene that's laid out here, and I love the fun shapes that create the scene, and it really gave me some inspiration to just create this fun paneled board and add a little bit more texture and then some color to it. So first, I have these little rings that came from like real brush markers. If you get them, they have the rings in them to prevent the ink from coming through to the brush till you're ready to use it. So I kept those along with tons of other textures over time, just to use for instances like this. And then the other piece on the tree is just some plastic flat-backed beads that I got from my local craft store. So I put that on while that modeling paste was wet, and that really helped to glue it down and secure it nicely. So once that was completely dry, then I'm coming back over it all with white gesso from the Crafters Workshop as well. It dries to a beautiful matte finish, and it's ready for some pigment. So I started with these Zig real brush markers that you know, the colors are really nice and vibrant, but once I started putting them on the board and I let it dry, it was a little bit more pale than I wanted it to be. And so I was going to remove this part and just show you what I actually did, but I think it's important to include this in the process, because sometimes, you know, your plan for the way you think something is going to go, or the tools you're going to use, or something like that, you know, it doesn't always go the way you plan or the way you think it's going to go. And so I felt like it was important for me to keep it in this video just to show you, you know, I had an idea and it didn't quite work out, and so then I had to decide how to move forward and find a different idea. And so so that's what I did here. So I'm using Marabou aqua pens from their graphics line, and they're a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more vibrant, at least for the colors I chose, and so I decided to go with those in the end. So there I colored the sky with those two colors of blue, and I'm just going to color the rest of this scene, really. I've got what I think was kind of like a hill. I did the darker green, and then I've got that cool tree that I added those plastic beads to. And I'm really just being kind of general about it. I don't care about, you know, having it be perfect or specific. I wanted just a playful, fun, kind of washed out watercolor look to this. So that's what I'm doing with all of the colors here. Still wanted to separate kind of some of the areas and give them their own space and own color, but again, not super careful about, you know, staying within those lines there, or being particularly perfect about it. So so there is my finished piece. I let it dry. Now, it did dry a little flatter than I wanted, so I got some goosebumps out, and I thought, well, this will give it some shine and bring out some of that pigment again, and that's what it did. I'm really happy I did the goosebumps. It really helped to finish it, and I put a little extra in those little where those rings are, just to give it a little bit more texture in there. And I really love the way it turned out, and how it looked after the goosebumps dries. It just brightens it up just a little bit more and gives it some shine. So that was my project there. This was super fun, and I really loved adding that extra texture, and there's so many other really cool things you could do with this stencil. So I think I'll be playing with this quite a bit more. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate your support. Have a great day.